what were some of the key findings that you discovered during your research there on this idea of starting best practices for starting new campus ministries?
Yeah.
Give us a little brief synopsis, if you would.
Yeah. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. So let me start with the problem. The problem was I had a extra hat. I wasn't just kind of coordinating our Nashville campuses, but for about 4 years I was our regional director and coordinator. And so basically that meant that I was overseeing, or not in a hands-on way, but had some influence with our regional team of over several states. And when I looked at our chapters, we had not started any new chapters. We just kept restaffing the old.
Hmm.
And again, that wasn't just in my 4 years. That was even previously, maybe another 5 years or so. And so I that was my ministry problem, and why I started this kind of research, was saying, okay, what are people doing to start new campus ministries, and how can we get out of maybe a uh, what are they called on in the airport, where you get on the thing and it starts going fast? Like I didn't want to get on the hamster wheel. I wanted to get on that thing. That
The escalator or the
tarmac,
the moving sidewalk.
the moving
oh
sidewalk.
yes, yeah.
So I was like, we have to get on the moving sidewalk to get out of just kind of hoping and only believing for just the campuses we're on. Let's lift our gaze a little bit and go past that. So so that's what kind of started me down that route. And I was able to interview several different ministry leaders from all over the country,
Wow.
public, private, community college, even that had started campus ministries. And really, I wasn't worried so much with how big is your ministry. If you got a big ministry, you must be smart. But really, I compared it to church planning. There's a lot been written on the world of church planning, especially the last 20 to 30 years. A lot of what not to do. And I said, man, we got to pick the brains of some of these people that they've learned what not to do, or at least learned what they've learned from what they've learned. So a little bit of my findings was I didn't expect to find was that this is what set it off. There was a particular minister who they had went and started a campus ministry at a new campus, but they had been at the previous campus for 5 years. And I remember sitting and talking and going back through the data, and it hit me. He said he'd been there 5 years, and the reason why he said it was time for him to go start this new, or part of it, was, you know what? I was a student at the same campus for 4 years, and then I was a staff member for another 5 years. So I had committed 9 years of my life to this campus, this area. And in his mind, starting a new campus ministry was almost like going to a new country, going to a new mission field. And it was like a new lease on life. And so it started me thinking, because I had never considered that combined together. Wow, this person was involved in this ministry for 9 straight years before they started, a campus ministry. So that took me back through all of our other interviews, and it was a similar thread. I started looking for that thread of how long was this person involved? What did they say? And what I found is, on average, a person was involved in the ministry either as a student or volunteer, and then on staff for 5 years. And that was a bit of the average, kind of as a whole. I know in every nation, that some of the who I had interviewed was in every nation, and so that was our big number. So to me, it's going to cause further research of saying, maybe we should take a look at what is happening those first 3 to 5 years of ministry. And maybe that's the time that we need to help not just seed the ground, but again, lay some moving sidewalk for them of, man, it's time maybe to go to a different campus. I think, just personally for me, the first year of ministry was disorienting, trying to figure out what is this new schedule. Oh, I got a work schedule. It's not a school schedule. This is different. And then by the second year, some of those relationships were starting to bear even more fruit. And then the third year, I really felt, oh man, I not completely got this under my got a wing of it, but man, I have at least a sense of what's going on this campus, and where to go and what to do. And so I think that was some of my findings, is maybe we should take a look at this process, and just the necessity for all of the people that I interviewed. They all said that they were involved in the campus ministry before they started one. It sounds, the chicken and the egg, what comes first? It sounds like someone needs to be invested in the life of a campus ministry, and it doesn't just happen overnight.